Well, the partner spotlight just ended, and there's so much to have to grok about what just happened. The last 8 days, and I actually hadn't streamed that many days in a row, including the week prior to partner spotlight, in a long time. So forgive me if it takes me a little while to form my thoughts. But I did want to split this up into, I guess, to make it easier for me, 3 questions. I think a lot of people during the partner spotlight asked me, how did you get it? And once you become a partner, Twitch is supposed to do everything for you. And I think there's something distinctly incorrect about that. So how did I get it? I was like, hey, what do I need to do to get onto front page? This is something that required an immense amount of like courage for me, because I don't do that. I was like, hey, maybe I'll get it good enough and then maybe they'll notice me. I got hit by like a bolt of lightning. Zeus said, yo, ask. So I asked, and it turned into this very big whirlwind of things happening, getting contacted by Pluto saying, yeah, we think you're a good fit. And then trying to figure out, doing all the research I can on how it goes, like how does this work? Getting a sense from Pluto what was expected of me. And then going to SGDQ and pulling over people like Kung Fu Fruit Cup and Number One Alex and asking all of these other people that have done partner spotlight in the past to be like, what do you do? How do you do this? The preparation. Pluto sends you this copy pasta of things that you need to remember. And, everything from like moderators to be like, hey, we got to have our first moderator meeting. We've never had one before. The Crusader moderators, my knights, have never had a meeting. I had to make sure my overlays were ready, that synth form was ready. And, I had getting help and having all of those things come together so quickly within what felt like, a couple of days, but was actually about a month and a half. We went to get boba to celebrate the fact that the partner spotlight has ended and that I succeeded. And Jen was asking me in the hallway before we got to our door, like, what is the thing you're happy about? What's the standout thing? And if you've been following the videos that I've done, one prevailing thing, and it's the fact that, it's self-worth, it's courage, it's being able to go out there and feel like you did enough. And I think that's what happened this week. I had this feeling of I did the best I could. You're being put out there like to say, hey, now you're going to be getting an influx, at least an hour a day, an influx of an order of magnitude more people than you've ever had in your channel. And while everybody is like, oh my God, take it all in, right? Take it all in. I need all of that. Like, let everybody see who I am. It's not necessarily when you're out there and you see yourself on the front page and you're like, this is real. And then you look at your camera and you're like just trying to say hello to everybody. And it's like, this is it. Like, I've never had to, this is my A game. I've never had to do this before. And what the emotions it pulls out of you, this, like, I need to make this impression on them. I need to make sure that the minute, the hour, the day that I have with them, I want to make sure they come back. I want to make sure that they decide that they can have a good time with me. And I think there were a good amount of people who did find that. Chat wasn't my moderators were on point. Not only that, my friends, the people that I have known, the people that came out to support me, I kind of like lightly asked them, like, if I ever asked anything, I'd love to see you out there. Like, this means a lot to me and to us, like to the Crusaders. This means a shitload, this opportunity to be able to show the Crusaders who we are. And I think we did just that. We showed Twitch who we are. And I think a lot of people hooked on to that. Early in the spotlight, it was really hard to like kind of look at my stats. And I talked to Elliot, the partner spotlight before. I talked to, a good friend of mine, Josh, who's like, he knew about the other people who had been on spotlight before me. And the big number that was there is like, oh, how many follows do you get? I'm like, okay, I'll ask Galactic Elliot, how many follows did you get? He's like, I've got 500 a day. He's a Pokemon streamer. Got 500 a day. Okay. That sounds like a lot. It's great. Okay, cool. End of the first couple of days, I'm like, I got maybe 500 in 4 days. And you're just there kind of like, well, Am I doing it wrong? Everything leading up to Partner Spotlight was a microcosm of what happened on the Spotlight, which was I am a niche broadcaster. I am a retro gaming speedrunning broadcaster. I am not a person who is extremely hype. I am not a puppet. I am not a dancer, an award-winning dancer. I'm not a Pokemon streamer. I am who I am. And focusing on the fact that there are going to be people, I am the type of broadcaster who gets 1 out of every 10, 2 out of every 10 people that come in. Before I learned to be comfortable in my own skin, to be comfortable with who I was, it was going through that whole crap, is Twitch not going to like this? Have I kind of completely, soiled my chances at ever getting front page again or doing anything at TwitchCon? Am I good enough? Did I learn if I was good enough? I don't know. But I learned that I can do everything I can, and I can come out content. And I can come out with a sense that I didn't waste this chance. And that there's more to go. The Partner Spotlight isn't the end all be all of promotion on Twitch. It is getting out there and being able to say, hey, maybe this person can tell another person about that cool speedrunner that they saw running Mega Man 6. People were like, hey, there's this, there should be more retro. Too many new games. Why aren't they promoting? Why is there only promotion of retro games when GDQ's out? And I think more than ever, I've learned that I can believe that I can, be one of those people that can find a different way to what I want to achieve. I've always been a person that when my back is to the wall, I will I'll shrink into a corner, but I will always try and come back and try to get myself out of it. And getting out of the corner and learning who I was, coming out of the Partner Spotlight, being able to say that I know who I am and I know what I can do going forward. I think that was the number one lesson of this entire thing, is that I learned who I was because of the Spotlight. So what's next? The rest of the year is next. Every cast from next week on, that's all next. That's all I am now empowered to go out there to take a trip to San Francisco and say, hey guys, what can I do to stay on that radar, to stay on your radar, to keep doing what I was doing, to keep having the fun that I had. I can't do this alone. I've always said to my Crusaders that, it's a we thing. This is a we thing. We all move up. Partner Spotlight, it's a spotlight on you, but it's not. It's a spotlight on everything you stand for, everybody who's helping you, everybody who's gotten you to that point. It's another step in the journey, because it's a chance for a partner to learn. If they're willing to learn, it's a chance for a partner to learn who they are and what they stand for here on Twitch. Because it's still a new medium and we still have ways to make things work. It's not over yet. And I know going forward that I will fight to make sure that there are more roads for people to find a way